Talk to you some tips on how to maximize your renovation budget. Tip number one that we jokingly say, but we're truthful is don't hire friends or family for your next remodel project. As much as they might give you a great deal, typically it's on the backs of yes, but if I have a full-time or a full price customer calling, guess what? Your project's going to be probably put on hold. And who's going to be more understanding, you or the full price customer? So, one of the jokes is you just don't want to necessarily hire friends or family for your project. Tip number two is that you make sure that you have a clear plan in place. I can't stress this enough is have a plan. Have something written down, list by list, item by item for your project. Have that in place before you actually start a project. You want to make sure that you have the budget written down as well. Number three is have a budget in place. Okay, we've also included some facts and figures, but average kitchen remodel on the very low end is 12,000. On the medium to mid range is 33,000. Also, a bathroom is between 6 and 14. It can be a lot higher than that too, depending on what you're wanting to do. And then a basement, if you have one, which we rarely do here in California, but that can be anywhere between 10 and 27,000. But you want to have the budget. You want to include your labor and your material cost. Now, here's the thing: is on what you pick for material, that can change your labor cost. This happens a lot in tile. So if you get really small tile, hey, it takes longer to do. It's going to cost more in labor. If you get really big tile, it might be less in labor, but the tile cost might be higher. So just think about that. Take that in consideration. Tip number four is prioritize your list of things to do. You might live in a shoebox of a home and have all these different things, but you just need to prioritize what you can do first. And you're going to only do one project at a time, anyways. Even if you had a budget to remodel the whole house, typically, if you're living there, you're not going to do everything at once. So make sure that you prioritize first what you want done first and then go from there. You might be able to do another project next year. Tip number five is how to handle the when you're doing a remodel, whether it's a kitchen or a bathroom, you're going to be looking at different things. And I guess I should take this helmet off, right? You're going to be looking at different things. And hey, what happens when the kitchen is out of use or the bathroom is out of use? What are your plans on how to navigate through that? How long is it going to be out of use? For instance, if your kitchen is going to be out of use, are you going to be comfortable going out to eat for 3 weeks straight or 4 weeks straight, whatever it might be? You need to include that in your budget of like, hey, we're going to be going out to eat, making a lot of picnics. Tip number six is obviously get multiple bids. And the big thing is that make sure that you're comparing apples to apples. One of the biggest complaints or stresses that we hear is the bids were way high and way low. What happened? You weren't comparing apples to apples. What will happen is sometimes you get a lot of people's eyes on this project and you say, oh, wow, hey, here's an idea, you can do this. So here's an idea, you can do that. So those are the things you want to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples. And those are some tips that will help you on your next budget or your next renovation. My name is Sam with Hocoa, your home repair network. Thank you for watching this video, and please feel free to call or text us anytime that you need help.